Hey guys, welcome back. This is my mini series of videos on my new coffee machine, the DeLonghi Dinamica Plus. It is part of my longer Dan is Bad at Coffee series, where I try to learn how to brew coffee drinks at home with minimum effort and hopefully not taking on a new hobby. What I want is to make lattes and iced coffees at home, so when I don't feel like it or when the weather's bad, I don't have to drive to my favorite coffee shop or even Starbucks, which is not my favorite, but everybody knows it. I want to learn how to do the basics at home to make as close as I can to what you can get from a cafe. So before I forget, patreon.com/dspiffy for more and exclusive content. Also, at the end of this mini series, I'm going to do a Q&A because I've already gotten a lot of questions. So please submit your questions either in the comments or by email. And we're skipping ahead just a little because with today's topic, we are actually going to answer one of the questions that's already been asked. Maybe we'll double down during the Q&A. But a couple of people have already asked me how much cleaning is involved in this machine. So far, not a lot, and hopefully it stays that way, but we're going to talk about it today. The biggest thing, of course, is that all coffee machines have to be descaled. That's when you get rid of mineral deposits that are in our water, especially if it's not softened water. Of course, living here with groundwater, we have pretty hard water. The machine is due for descaling, so we're going to do that on camera later in the video. In the meantime, before we go over to the kitchen, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the basic cleaning. The most important thing to clean, of course, is the milk pitcher, because you don't want mold and whatnot. And this is what holds the milk. And it is dishwasher safe, top rack. I don't do that because it doesn't fit on my top rack. I will just generally soak. What I will generally do is rinse it out every time I refill it, and every couple refills I will soak it in the sink in some Dawn dish detergent. Only thing I've found is that this little lip here at the top, hard milk deposits have a tendency to build up there, so I will sometimes need to scrub that. Other than that, this is very, very easy to clean. Same with the frothing attachment on the top of it. This knob comes out so you can clean inside. Very easy, you just remove it. Again, and then the little hose part that goes right here and into the tank, that comes out. Sometimes after I clean it, I'll blow the milk deposits out of it and then clean it again. But again, all this can be in the dishwasher if it fits. It's top rack only. I prefer, what I'll do is I'll just soak all of these, including the knob, in some dish detergent for a few hours, put it back together. That's the most frequently cleaned piece, because again, milk, you don't want to mess around with that. This is the grounds container. This is where the spent pucks go. And when it fills up, the machine will give you an indicator, and you just dump it in the garbage or the compost or wherever you put your coffee pucks. I rinse it out when I do that because I don't want loose grounds left. You don't have to rinse it out, but I do. This is the drip tray. If you forget to put a cup underneath it when it's rinsing, it will eventually fill up, and this red indicator light will tell you that it's full. I'm really funny about loose water in the kitchen. I don't want anything that could create mildew, so I empty this out anytime I see any water in there. It's really easy, just rinses in the sink and the top part to it. And all of this fits together when it goes into the machine. So this is actually all one piece that slides out of the machine. And then the milk frother would be on, I believe, this side. So technically, if the machine was put together, that would sit right there. Then there's descaling, which we're about to do. And there's one other thing the manual says, which a couple other things. They tell you to, like, if you see a lot of loose coffee in the grounds spout, for pre-ground coffee, then brush it out. I don't really use that. If you see loose coffee in the bottom underneath the grounds tray, to clean that out. I haven't seen that. They say every so often you should get a wet sponge and clean the nozzles at the bottom of the where the coffee comes out. I've done that a couple times, but they've been clean as a whistle already. When I've used a wet paper towel or a sponge, and the sponge stays clean. So it seems to be pretty good at the self-cleaning. The other thing is, apparently at some point you will have to open the machine on the right-hand side and clean the infuser. And it's another piece you just take out and rinse it, because again, you don't want to use, the only things you want to use soap on is the milk stuff. Nothing else you want to use soap, you just want to rinse it in warm water. But apparently, At some point, you will have to clean the infuser, and the machine will give you an indication. Just like it gives you an indication for descaling, it gives you an indication when the grounds tray is full. It's a pretty smart machine, honestly. Anytime you need to do something, it gives you an indication when you need to clean the milk spout. So it will apparently give me an indication when I need to clean the infuser. Hopefully that's easy. Again, I am a mechanical guy, you know that from my other videos, but I'm not trying to take on a project. I want to keep this as no frills as possible. I want to keep this as simple as possible. I don't want additional work. I don't want additional hobbies. And so far, it's just doing the dishes. And I do the dishes. For the most part, I mean, I guess my wife would probably argue with me. My job is loading the dishwasher. Her job is unloading the dishwasher. So I say I do the dishes. She would probably disagree. But that and descaling, and again, any coffee machine needs to be descaled. With cheap ones, you can just run vinegar through it, but with stuff like this that's all computerized and sensors and whatnot, you want to use the descaling liquid that they recommend. Thankfully, DeLonghi's is pretty cheap. It's like 13 bucks for a 2-pack, and you use 1 package every descaling. I've had the machine a month, and it's due for descaling. However, first of all, I've been using it really heavily this month and trying to experiment. I mean, look how many drinks we made during the last couple of videos. Way more than I would make if I was just making a coffee a day, which I'm still making most days anyways. But then also, I did get as an open box machine. It was a demo model or something like that. It already had about 100 drinks made before it got to me. So, I don't know how many drinks it's made with me. Let's just say 200 total. So, if you're normally making a drink or two a day, that's descaling every 3 months or so, and 13 bucks for 2, so that's 7 bucks every 3 months. That's nothing, and the process is pretty simple. Matter of fact, let's go over there. Let's give it a try. I'm saying it's simple. I haven't done it before. I'm going to do it for the first time on camera. Let's go. Okay, as promised, we're going to descale it for the first time on camera. I have not tried this before, so we are starting from scratch. I have my water spout and my descaling solution. And I think that's all you need, plus some containers. I'm not sure how much containers. I've got a bunch of cups. They always say to put a big bowl underneath, but the problem is the big bowl doesn't fit on the little shelf. So I figured I'll just use a bunch of small containers and we'll see how it goes. Okay, descaling needed, press to start. Okay. Remove water filter. I don't have one in right now. I may add one in the future. Next. Descaler level A and water level B. I'm going to assume that means in here, the water container. So, I'm not exactly sure what that means because, I mean, I can't pick the level. There's only one level. I'm going to look at the manual to see if that gives me any further information. But otherwise, I'm just going to put the descaler in and then fill it up to level B. Let's see here. Gotta be a section on descaling, right? Here we go. Remove the water filter. Empty the water tank. Pour the descaler into the tank up to the level marked A, which should equal 1 pack. And then you add 1 liter of water. Okay, so let's start there. They said to empty the water, which I was going to do anyways, but okay. So, I guess you know what, I can back off a little bit since I'm doing some stuff over here too. We can show the whole countertop. It's a little loose in there, so I'm gonna pour the loose stuff in there just in case. Then we need a scissors. Oh, there is a very faint A and B marking on there. Good to know. Oh, guess I don't need to cut it, it's leaking out the bottom. Luckily it still comes almost to the A level, very close. We're gonna call that close enough. And then put some water in up to the B level. B level is there. Normally I just run it under the tap, but I'm trying to be more precise for the descaling. Right at B. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to assume, even though it does not explicitly say, that the next step is putting it back in the machine. So let's put it back in the machine. Next, empty drip tray. I don't know why it cares. And the drip tray should be empty already, but easy enough. Yeah, it wasn't mentioned there. Now, maybe if I don't put the drip tray back in. Okay, nope, it wants it back in. Okay, I was like, maybe if I don't put the drip tray back in, I can use a bigger container. But position 2-liter container. I don't know that I have a 2-liter container, so we're just going to use what we have. I don't see how a 2-liter container would fit there anyways. Now, I think you also would need, we'll start with these two, and then, because I don't have like a square container like that. I'm trying to think if I have anything that would work. Because the mixing bowl is going to be way too big. And let's just try it. We got plenty of mixing bowls. But my concern is maybe if I let's get creative. There's a empty egg carton. Let's see if that works. Okay, push OK to start. Insert water spout. Push OK to start. I don't have a lot of faith in this container. You see, look, it's barely. Well, it's not spilling, so. Okay, looks like we got, it's ready to be rinsed. First of all, let's dump this out. Don't know if we're gonna need the egg carton again. There's still some water and solution in the bottom of the tank. Well, I guess the egg carton idea worked. I put an egg carton, like an empty egg carton you had sitting on the table to prop up this bowl because it would not have lined up otherwise. It might be, but it's an egg carton. Are you saving it for something? By the way, this is on camera.
No, I was going to give it to whoever that person is that wants the egg carton. They'll make their not the
Yeah, it should be fine, but if it's not, it's one egg carton. And it was just the closest thing I could find that was the right height, or close to the right height at least.
You don't normally get the egg cartons anymore. They're like that.
They don't like the yellow ones?
She told me she wanted those specifically.
I didn't think they cared. I don't remember anymore. Okay. Now it says empty drip tray. Can't imagine there's that much in there, but oh, surprisingly quite a bit. Okay. Let's just test it with an espresso. Okay. Well, seems to have been a pretty straightforward process. I hope that helped somebody. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, it's time for another installment in my mini series about my new coffee machine, the DeLonghi Dinamica Plus. For those who don't know, following this series, I'm trying to make the type of lattes and coffees at home that I like to get from my local coffee shop or even Starbucks. They're not my first choice, but everybody knows Starbucks, with minimum effort and minimum frustration. I don't want a new hobby. I just want lattes and iced coffees at home. So we've been following my learning process with my whole series of coffee videos and then specifically with this new machine. Today we're going to talk about cleaning. Some of you have already asked about cleaning this machine. And it's actually, there's not a lot to it. It's pretty straightforward. But coincidentally, my descaling light came on during one of my other recent videos. So we're going to do that on camera. We're going to head over to the kitchen and do that in a little bit. In the meantime, I want to show you the primary cleaning. This is the milk jug. This is the milk frother. And somewhere around here, did I lose it? Is it going to be an outtake? I think it's going to be an outtake because I don't know what I did with that.